What is going on, everyone? It's Super here and welcome to another Injustice 2 video, and today we're doing a Q&A for Injustice 2. It's been a while since I've actually done one of these. I just did a MKX Q&A, so if you guys missed that, make sure you guys go check it out. Thank you guys for the support on that. I'll try to make more Q&As more often, but it's just been absolutely crazy. You guys know it's been absolutely crazy with like actual news that, you know, whenever I don't upload like a ranked match or I guess, you know, beta player match videos for Injustice 2, I'm uploading like news and character reveals, stuff like that. It's been absolutely crazy, so I'm happy about that though. It's awesome. But I'm back here doing a Q&A, so if you guys do enjoy these Q&A videos, make sure you guys leave a like rating on the video. Let's try to hit 500 likes. That would be awesome. It helps out the channel a lot. So let's get into the questions here. I have a lot of really good questions. All right, here we go. Am I at the top? Yeah, I'm at the top. Okay, so first question comes from Boogeyman, and he asks, when do you think we're gonna get the first DLC characters or Justice Pack? I guess he's you know, giving it a name just in case we do get packs. I'm kind of curious about that, by the way. Of course, we're still like, we're not that far actually. We're 3 months away from the game being released. I wonder if they're gonna do combat packs or, you know, Justice packs, or if they're gonna release characters one by one like they were doing for the first year of MKX. What I'm thinking is they're gonna do it release characters one by one, and then maybe in the future do a pack of 3 or 4, something like that. But I think they're gonna start off releasing them one by one. But anyways, he asks, when do I think we're gonna get the first one? Well, I think it's gonna be very early. I think the first DLC for Injustice 2 will come out a month after the game is out. That's what happened with MKX, and I believe that happened as well with the first Injustice game and MK9. They do like to keep the game fresh. So, you know, even 1 month after the game's out, it's still super incredibly early. But if they do have a lot of content to bring out, you know, it's always good to just start the game's life cycle with some fresh content right off the bat, and then, you know, spread it out a little bit more as time goes on. So I do think that the first DLC content as far as characters for Injustice 2 will come out in probably June, maybe end of June, maybe the start of July. We'll have to wait and see, because May 16th is the release of Injustice 2. So yeah, towards the end of June, start of July is probably when we should be expecting the first DLC character to come out for Injustice 2, and it should be a huge one. It's gonna be one of the biggest DLC characters that they have on the roster, because the first DLC character that was released for MKX was Jason Voorhees, and he was gigantically popular. Like, it's actually ridiculous how popular Jason was when he was announced and when he was you know, the first character as a DLC. Like, his trailers and his teasers and stuff got a ton of views, and, you know, of course, when he came out, he was really popular. So I expect the same thing with Injustice 2. Who knows if we're gonna get, it would be amazing if we get Spawn right off the bat. Like, he's the first DLC character we get. That would be so sick. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we are gonna get like a giant DLC character to be first. But I do think the first DLC character is gonna come out 1 month or a month and a half after Injustice 2's release. So end of June, start of July, mid-July, somewhere around there. Daniel asks, is Injustice 2 coming to PC? And I can't give you an answer on that, but I know that Ed Boon has not denied it. He's just said we don't have anything to announce at the moment. So that leads me to believe that there is going to be a PC version of Injustice 2. They just don't want to say, all right guys, we're gonna have a PC version of Injustice 2, it's gonna be awesome, we're gonna support the hell out of it, and then maybe something happens with the company who's doing the port, and then, you know, it falls flat, just like the Mortal Kombat X version of the PC, you know, just completely bombed. And then, of course, it took them a while, but eventually they released Mortal Kombat XL on PC, which was, you know, a lot of people, including myself, were really happy for the PC guys, because they got to play with Combat Pack number 2, even though it was really late, but they still got the Combat Pack 2 at the end. So I think what NetherRealm wants to avoid is another Mortal Kombat X situation. So they're not announcing anything until you know, they have confidence in their plan for the PC version. But believe me, it's gonna come out. You guys on PC will be getting Injustice 2. I would be shocked if the PC version doesn't happen for Injustice 2. So I'm pretty confident it's going to happen. Moving on here. Captain Bacon asks, why do you label your Injustice 2 videos Injustice Gods Among Us 2? Oh, all right. So I put this in here because I always get this question. Not a lot. I do get asked a couple times, but I just wanted to explain to you guys why I put Injustice Gods Among Us 2 instead of what's the normal Every Battle Defines You. I even like think it's Injustice Gods Among Us 2, but it's called Injustice 2, and then Every Battle Defines You is like the second name. So pretty much this is the YouTuber in me, of course. The reason why I name my videos Injustice Gods Among Us 2 is because if you could do it yourself, by the way. If you type in just Injustice and then a space afterwards in the YouTube search engine, Injustice 2 is the second, or Injustice 2 is the first thing that people search after like Injustice, and then Injustice Gods Among Us 2 is the second most searched thing for Injustice 2 in the YouTube search engine. So, of course, as a YouTuber, if people are searching for Injustice Gods Among Us 2, I want to have it in my title. You know, that's just the YouTuber in me. That's I want to have that in the title so more people can find my videos. That's pretty much it. That's the reason why I title my videos Injustice Gods Among Us 2, and I'll continue to title my videos Injustice Gods Among Us 2 probably until the game comes out, and then we'll see what people search after that. But yeah, that's the reason. You know, I'm a YouTuber. I want as many people to view my videos. So I just wanted to let you guys know, because I do get asked, not a lot, but I do get asked quite a bit of times, like, oh, why are you naming the video this if it's, you know, Injustice Every Battle Defines You, not Gods Among Us 2? So there's your reason why. Just wanted to be, you know, 100% transparent to you guys. Of course, as a YouTuber, I want as many people to watch my videos as possible. So that's why I have Injustice Gods Among Us 2, because it's the second most searched thing on YouTube when it comes to Injustice 2, believe it or not. So next question comes from Henry, and he asks, what do you prefer for Injustice 2, the hold back to block, or would you prefer Injustice 2 to have a block button like Mortal Kombat X? And great question, and this is something that a lot of people would probably disagree with me on, at least on my channel, but I actually do prefer Injustice 2 with no block button. That is a dirty setup, by the way. That damage got nerfed by Superman in the beta. That was like week 1 when the dive bomb wasn't scaled properly. So after the second patch, or after the first patch in the beta, that combo probably would have done 20, but it's still like a really good mix-up. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. Actually, I'll use that dive bomb as an example in a bit, but I really do like the fact that Injustice 2 does not have a block button. I like the hold back to block, hold down to block, because the way blocking works in Injustice 2 is if your opponent is attacking you with a low or mid attack, you actually don't even have to hold back. You could just hold down and it's going to block the low, it's going to block the mid, and of course if your opponent tries to hit you with an overhead, then that's when you hold back to block, you know, standing of course. So if you're being zoned and stuff, you could actually crouch projectiles while at the same time blocking, because you just hold down. But if Injustice 2 were to have like a block button, it would feel a lot like MKX, and I like the change. I don't want a carbon copy of Mortal Kombat X. As much as I absolutely love MKX, having, you know, differences in MKX compared to Injustice, which if you compare the games, they're not even close to each other. Like Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat X are so different, it's actually crazy that it's made by NetherRealm, right? They do have some similarities, of course, that NetherRealm games have, but just the way the games play is just miles apart. And having the hold to block is one of the reasons why. And I do like that variety. I like the fact that on MKX I could go and I have the block button, and you know, I could just play defensively that way. And then in Injustice 2, trust me, it's a lot harder to play defense with characters that mix you up, just like Superman did to me right there, where you have to guess whether the dive bomb is going to hit behind you or in front of you. And as a defensive player, it could be like frustrating at times, but you get used to it. If you're a guy coming from Mortal Kombat X, it will be hard for you at the beginning, but trust me, once you get used to the feel of just holding back to block when your opponent's attacking, or holding down a block, and identifying if your opponent is going to do a crossover jump, or the crossover or the jump 2 is going to stay in front of you, or if it's going to cross over. For example, like Batman has a ridiculous jump 2, and it's really ambiguous on whether it's going to land in front of you or behind you, and you have to block that accordingly. If it lands in front of you, you have to block backwards, and if your opponent's crossing you up, you actually have to block the opposite direction. So coming from MKX, you are going to get a little bit confused at the start. You're probably going to get your ass kicked. You're going to be like, oh my god, I hate this hold back to block bullshit. But trust me, once you get used to it, it's gonna be familiar. Like, you're not even gonna notice the change. And as an offensive player, it's amazing, absolutely amazing that there's no block button in this game, because in Mortal Kombat X, you never have to worry about someone doing a ambiguous setup where you have to guess whether your opponent is going to land behind you or in front of you, or you never have to guess left to right mix-ups, maybe 1 or 2 frame crossovers. For example, Batman has a setup in this game where if you call on your bats and you're like around mid-screen, close to full screen, you send your bats out to your opponent, and then you do a meter burn dash, which sends you behind your opponent, so the bats are coming from behind. So if your opponent's holding back to block while you're meter burn dashing on him, he's going to be walking forward on you, so the bats are going to hit him. And that's such a dirty setup for Batman players that that's something that would not be possible on a game like MKX, which has a block button. So offensively, it opens up a lot more opportunities. So I really like the fact that Injustice 2 is hold back to block. So that's my answer there. You don't have to agree with it. Write in the comments what you guys would prefer. Let's see. Where was I? Where was I? Oh, here we go. Joel. Will you be playing Tekken 7 when it comes out? Joel, unfortunately, the way things are looking, it seems like Tekken 7 is going to be released right after Injustice 2. And to be honest, I do not want to pick Tekken 7 over Injustice 2 to play, because I just want to focus 100% on Injustice 2 and getting good at that game, rather than, trying to learn a completely new game, which I haven't played since Tekken 3. So I don't think Tekken 7 is going to happen. And let's see, let's do a short question here because we're out of time. All right, here we go. Lucas, what stage would you like to see in Injustice 2? I personally think the Tower of Fate would be dope. Tower of Fate would look awesome in Injustice 2, and of course it would make sense for Dr. Fate to have his own, stage themed after him. And one stage that I would like to see, and I know Ra's al Ghul is not in Injustice 2 and is not going to be on the main roster, might be DLC, who knows, but I would really like to see a Lazarus Pit stage. It would sort of resemble like the death pool stage, quote unquote the acid stage from Mortal Kombat X. They could visually make it look stunning and just have like the Lazarus Pit behind the opponents while they're fighting each other. Oh my god, the stage would look so sick. So a Lazarus Pit stage, if Ra's al Ghul might be DLC, have him bring in a new stage, or like have a stage theme after Ra's al Ghul, because we're probably going to get DLC stages as well. So that's what I would like. So that's going to do it for today's Q&A video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.